You've applied for so many jobs and either get no response at all or an email letting you know that they went with another candidate. What's going on? What could you be doing wrong that your resume always ends up in some kind of a black hole? In today's video, I'm going to share a simple but highly effective self-assessment tool that will help you uncover the core issue in your job search strategy that is holding you back from job interviews and eventually job offers. Welcome to my channel. Thanks for being here. I'm Anna from CV Labs. I'm a career coach and resume writer, and in my videos I talk about how to get you hired for that fantastic job you want and of course deserve. If you want to make the most out of your career and get regular tips for your personal and professional development, make sure to subscribe to this channel and don't forget to hit the notifications bell. Costs nothing, but it's a great way for us to stay in touch. As part of the work that I do, I get to see many resumes every single day. And that's why I can tell you that there could be many potential reasons why your particular resume isn't working for you at this point in time, both internal and external reasons. For example, if you're someone who is trying to switch to a different industry or even a new career entirely, the biggest challenge is conveying your transferable skills on your resume in a way that would position you as a more relevant candidate for this new field or the new industry, even though not all of your experience clearly is 100% applicable. By the way, if you want to learn about the most common resume mistakes, I'll link to another one of my videos where I talk about the biggest resume mistakes to avoid. Make sure to check it out. Like I said, there can be many potential reasons, but today I'm going to talk about the most common one, the one I see time and time again. And this problem gets overlooked so easily, but it's precisely what's keeping so many people stuck in this vicious cycle of never moving forward. Last week, a prospective client reached out to me for some resume help and interview coaching as well. And there were three things that really popped up in her story. One, she was determined to transition to a different industry after, I think, over 15 years in healthcare services. Two, she told me that she was concerned half the time being overqualified and half the time being underqualified because she was applying for anything and everything from entry-level positions to executive positions just to see what she could get. And finally, she sent over her resume and I looked at it for 5 seconds, mainly focusing on her most recent role. And in there, I saw everything ranging from finance management, inventory management, invoice processing to marketing strategies. If you can relate to any of those points, please type yes in the comments below. I feel like a lot of people are going through a similar story right now. After doing this super high level 5-second assessment, I could see right away what was the main key thing that was holding her back in her job search. And I'm hoping that after watching today's video, you'll be able to do the same for yourself. When you're evaluating what is working and what isn't, there are basically two areas that you need to look at. Strategic things and tactical things. A strategy is a plan to achieve a certain goal, and tactics have more to do with the actions that you take as part of that plan towards that goal. Both of those pieces are important when it comes to your job search, but I feel like a lot of the things that job seekers get fixated on are more tactical than strategic. And not that tactics are not important, of course they are, but if you have the tactics in place but your strategy is weak, you're shooting yourself in the foot. And this is where I thought, okay, today I want to share this simple two-step test that you can do by yourself, and this test will help you self-diagnose if there is a fundamental strategic problem. And if you do that at an early stage in your job search, things will become so much easier from that point onwards. Imagine that you're in the position to hire someone right now and you're looking for the right candidate. Now, with that in mind, take your own resume, take a real quick look at it for 5 to 10 seconds, no more than that, and ask yourself a very simple question. What is the one thing that this candidate is awesome at? A green flag that you're looking for here is that you can tell right away. And it becomes very clear even when you're just looking at the very top section of the resume, and then the rest of the file just kind of reinforces that message and gives you some more information and adds further details. A red flag that you don't want to see is that after looking at that resume, you have no idea. That is a clear symptom of a very generic resume, which means that it's a resume that has a little bit of everything. And I know that you may appreciate the variety and diversity in your background, and you may even be a little bit proud of being such a skillful jack of all trades. But for the purposes of your job search and the application process in particular, remember that a little bit of everything equals nothing of real substance. That's how first impressions work. And I'm not saying that having a diverse experience is not a good thing. It is, it absolutely is. And you will have a chance to explain why the diversity of your background and work experience is such an asset during the job interview, but that comes at a later stage. The problem is, you may never actually get to that stage if your resume has a little bit of everything. That's the biggest challenge. By the way, have you encountered a similar issue before, where you found it challenging to explain how having a diverse background makes you qualified for a particular role? Let me know in the comments below. So that was your step 1. Now comes step 2. Look at your application history. And in retrospect, do you see a clear target you've been moving towards, like a clear, ideal job with a defined area of focus? If you've been keeping track of your applications, that should be a fairly easy thing to do. If you don't have any database of the opportunities you've been interested in, now would be a great place to set something up. You could start with an Excel table, or you could use Notion, or you could even use a notes file on your phone. I mean, it's not about the fancy format, it's just about the format that works best for you so that you could collect some of that data. And once you have that data, a green flag you're looking for is there's consistency, there's a lot of similar job titles, maybe even identical in a lot of cases. There is a clearly defined functional area of focus, and that tells me that you know what you want, and that is always a great sign in your job search strategy. A red flag that you don't want to see is that you've been applying to very different roles at various levels of responsibility, and sometimes even not that much connection functionally. That is a clear sign of poor aiming, and the worse you're aiming, the more of your effort and time goes to waste in your job search. And the worst part, which a lot of people overlook here as well, is that poor aiming is not only damaging for you, but it also puts other people off as well. So the people who are looking at your resume, if they don't see a clear focus, clear aiming, clear goal, they interpret that as you yourself don't know what you want, so that stops them from inviting you for a job interview. Even though these steps are super helpful and effective on their own, they may not be enough to fully evaluate what's not working in your job search. A lot of the challenges that people overlook have to do with the online application process itself and the way the ATS, the applicant tracking system, screens and ranks all incoming resumes. So if you're someone who's struggling with that, I linked to another one of my videos where I talk about the hard truth about the online application process and share helpful tips on how you can beat the ATS. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, don't forget to hit thumbs up. If you loved it, you know what to do. Subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you again soon.